situation because we have to. Meanwhile, the globalists are stealing us all blind, and that's what they plan.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
You are a rebel, admit it. You refuse to read the directions when assembling a new item. You won't ask for directions when you're lost. Once in a while, you drive in the carpool lane with only you in the car. Your neighbors call you a crackpot. And you can count your real friends on one hand. Well, join the club. Einstein failed math, quit school, and his rebel ideas led to some of the world's most amazing discoveries. Edison rebelled against the dark, failed over 1,000 times, then invented the light bulb. George Washington rebelled against an entire country and led the creation of a new one. Now, Alex Jones is working to save that very country. So go ahead, be a rebel. Put in a food supply from efoodsdirect.com. Everyone will realize you were not a nutcase after all. efoodsdirect.com. If you're going to pick something to stand for, be sure you have enough food to keep on standing. 800-409-5633. efoodsdirect.com. That's 800-409-5633.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatical mass movement of personality cultists who is imposing the program of a group of extreme bankers and finance oligarchs, that's fascism.
It's not about left or right. It's about a one-world government. This film documents who Obama works for, the lies he has told, and his real agenda. Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back.
So you want to stop smoking? Well, here's what I want you to do. Go to a drugstore and take a stop smoking product off the shelf. Go to the cashier. Tell them you don't want to pay for the product. You just want to take it home and try it. And if, and only if you stop smoking, will you then come back and pay for it. Most likely, if you tried this, you'd be arrested. But as silly as this sounds, this is exactly what the Smoke-Free free trial offer is. Smoke-Free is a complete all-natural stop smoking system. And when you call today, they'll send you a 30-day supply of the program absolutely free. This program eliminates withdrawals and cravings and includes a 30-day supply of the smoke-free capsules, a guide to living smoke-free book, an audio support program, capsule holder, and a bottle of weight loss capsules just in case you're worried about gaining weight while you're trying to quit. To find out if you qualify for this free trial offer, join the tens of thousands who have quit for life with smoke-free. Call 1-800-426-6186 today. That's 1-800-426-6186. This is a limited time offer, so call 1-800-426-6186 now.
Friday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Central Standard Time. I come back Sundays 4 to 6 p.m. You know, it took many years of research to be able to admit to myself just how evil the globalists are and to face what their agenda is. Are we helpless? Or will we defend our families? and wrest control of the planet away from these madmen.
To summon back the fire witch to the court of the crimson.
Let's go ahead and go back to Dr. Deagle on your phone calls. Tom in Texas, you are on the air worldwide as we have continual coverage of the bird, swine flu, human flu, designer flu scare. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Alex.
Hey.
Dr. Tenpenny had mentioned the randomness of the spread of this NWO flu. And I've been looking at maps of where these reported cases and suspected cases come up, and it looks like it's following the interstate trucking routes and popping up in fueling depots or areas where you would have to get fuel.
Yeah, no. We have 30 million illegal aliens in this country, most of them from Mexico, 80+%, and there's millions of them going back and forth in any one week. That's one way to spread it. But you also have tourists all over the world, so that's one way. The issue, though, is it isn't killing people, but it hasn't really gone mega viral yet. It hasn't gone pandemic and it's spread yet. We don't know if it'll be pandemic and its mortality, or its morbidity, whatever the proper term is. And so that's the big issue. If it starts killing people in the West who have better medicine, who are healthier, but we've confirmed in Mexico it's killing the heads of museums. It's killing healthy people. It's killing people in coastal towns. It's killing farmers. Something stinks, and we're going to put this puzzle together in the end. Dr. Deagle, you want to comment on what Tom's saying?
Yeah, it's actually an ancient ceremony by these Satanist globalists. It's called the Ceremony of the Phoenix. It goes back to ancient Sumer, Egypt, etc. And what they're doing is they're using a bird, just like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds movie, his Thriller, and they're using it as a vector to bring these genetics. And now they have a bridge virus they've released. And I don't believe that we're seeing the worst of it yet, by any means. I think that this may even, as Napolitano says, believe it or not, she's saying the truth this time. If it blows over in 2 weeks or 6 weeks, look out. And the reason is they're not doing anything to stop it. Now they're telling us they're going to make a vaccine, which is useless to an organism that's going to change, even if a vaccine would work. They're not talking at all about blocking the borders to prevent people that carry the more lethal strains up from Mexico or air travel. They're doing nothing. In fact, everything they're doing is going to make sure there's maximum spread of this cross-contamination.
But Dr. Deagle, expanding on that, I mean, this could just be, I mean, we know there's 15,000, CDC says 36,000, but people I've talked to say they exaggerate the number of flu deaths every year. But I mean, let's just say it's 36,000. You got tens of thousands of deaths from flu every year in Mexico. And so a couple hundred people are dead. Let's say they're covering up. Let's say 1,000. Let's say 1,000 are dead. Let's say 5,000 are dead. Hypothetically, still, why all the fear-mongering? That's what makes your heckles go up to see the martial law grid going in. Are they just using this hype to...
There's a couple things.
Hold on, to cover up the news cycle with all the other issues that they want to cover up, the people rebelling in Mexico.
Absolutely. They're using it as a tool. The first problem is the statistic. They don't actually have, if you were to say there's 36,000 deaths, the first thing they have to do is, number one, they have to prove that they had that virus in their system. So when they write it on their certificate, they don't have viral proof. That's number one. I was one of the reference clinics in Denver that actually did the viral test.
Yeah, a lot of times if they hospice some old lady, they say she died of flu, or if it's a drug interaction or a bad surgery, they don't want to be sued for malpractice, so they say flu.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing that happens is, and I know when I put somebody in the hospital, those who, quote, got the flu ended up on a respirator and needed all kinds of intensive care. They always had mycoplasma, okay? And by the way, mycoplasma is one of the components in the chemtrails. I call them biotrails is a better term. So they always had mycoplasma. If they had flu, which we could pick up on their blood tests, they always had mycoplasma if they ended up on a respirator or other problems. So the statistic, number one, is exaggerated in terms of the number of deaths because there's many different organisms. There's hundreds of pathogens that can cause respiratory death.
Yeah, this could also just be a cover for something that they've released separately.
Right.
You never know with their disinformation. Let's anything else, Tom?
Just wanted to point it out that, I saw the pattern, how it's, where all the cases are reported, it looks like it's along the interstate.
Yeah, it's up the NAFTA Superhighway, I-35, the Canamex. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's go ahead and take another call. Let's talk.
That makes sense.
Let's talk to Chris in Wisconsin. Chris, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, I don't know if this is fear-mongering or not, but I'll tell you, there was a chilling article I read back in February, and it's a local Wisconsin company building 195 refrigerated morgue trucks for Navistar. That's a lot of bodies.
No, listen, it's not a rumor. Glenn Beck comes out and says it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I have the mass grave folder here, and it's Rocky Mountain News. It's internal documents, Division of Cemetery, State of New York. You can call the phone numbers. It's up on Infowars.com, and the article, Plans for Mass Graves Confirm Government Surveying Cemetery Readiness for Flu Outbreak. And I've been tracking this for years. It's all suddenly the last 2 years just exploded, and they're telling feds, hey, get ready, it's going to happen. They're telling local police, get ready. I mean, how did they know? How did the 1996, how did the Air Force do a study saying there'd be a massive flu outbreak in 2009 that would kill 30